There's a popular model of personal development called be, do, have. First, be the kind of person who succeeds in achieving your goals. Then, being that kind of person, you can do what's necessary to achieve those goals. And as a result, you achieve your goals and have what you want. The sequence seems logical. It sounds like it makes sense, and it's an attractive idea on paper. But in practice, it's not only weak, it's harmful. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercise and Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. The central flaw of the be, do, have model is that it treats identity as a prerequisite for action. It tells you be comes before do. Instead, identity is a consequence of repeated action. You do not become disciplined and then train consistently. The actual sequence, you train consistently long enough that disciplined becomes an accurate description of you. It reflects a pattern repeated in your life. You can see it. Others can see it. You become characterized as a disciplined person. The causal direction is the reverse of be, do, have. A more accurate model is do, be, have. First, action creates identity. Second, identity stabilizes behavior. And third, results emerge downstream. The be, do, have framework sounds psychologically sophisticated because it emphasizes mindset, self-image, and internal transformation. But what it produces is paralysis disguised as preparation. People ask themselves, how can I be confident? How can I be disciplined? How can I be the kind of person who follows through? These questions subtly imply I cannot act until I internally transform myself first. Identity is not manufactured through contemplation. It's shaped from the evidence of your behavior. The brain builds your self-concept retrospectively. You write every day, and that becomes, I'm a writer. You train daily, and that becomes, I'm disciplined. You experience yourself making promises and keeping them, and that becomes, I am reliable. The be emerges from observed behavioral patterns over time. Without action, identity work becomes fantasy management. A person can affirm, I am confident, I am healthy, I am consistent. But if behavior doesn't support the claim, the nervous system does not accept it. Reality keeps disputing the story. This is why purely cognitive personal development often produces endless journaling, overanalysis, a constant need for motivation, affirmations, and visualization loops, all without any behavioral follow-through. The person is trying to think themselves into being instead of behaving themselves into becoming. What works is action and follow-through on your plans. Waking up when you said you would, finishing the workout, writing the page, keeping the boundary in the relationship, making the sales call. You are accumulating physical proof, and that powerfully changes self-perception. You cannot install confidence or discipline beforehand. It's a behavioral pattern recognized afterward. The identity follows the repetition. Be, as a state of being, is vague. Do is concrete. Be disciplined is vague. Train 3 times per week for 12 weeks is operational. If you did that, you'd consider yourself disciplined. Now, all you must do is execute. The body, including the brain and the nervous system, changes through interaction with reality. not through abstract identity aspiration. Action has measurable feedback and observable results. There is friction and challenge in actually moving. There are consequences and adaptation pressures. That changes the body, not just sitting and thinking. By taking action, your results, the have part of the model, become more stable. You do not have fitness because you achieved it once. You have fitness because you repeatedly do the things that sustain it. The same applies to relationships, business success, emotional stability, and competence. These are all maintained through continued behavioral practice. Have is rarely permanent. It is continuously regenerated by doing. Finally, repeated behavior does more than shape your identity and create outcomes. It changes what feels normal. Someone who consistently trains no longer debates whether exercise is, in quotes, worth it every morning. They train because movement feels expected. Effort feels appropriate. Consistency feels natural. Consistent training restructures identity and perception simultaneously. This is why action is primary. Mindset is still important, but it is simple, straightforward action that creates the mindset. All you need is to do something, then learn and adapt. The mindset is embodied as a result. The accurate developmental loop is do, be, have, reinforced by do. First, action creates evidence. Second, evidence creates identity. Third, identity supports results. And fourth, results reinforce future action. That is a virtuous cycle. It builds on itself. It starts with behavior. Stop trying to be the person first. Take action and you'll become someone in the process. When you're ready to exercise consistency and become the person who follows through, start day one inside the ACT Score Challenge. Stack the days and practice the reps that reshape your identity. That's it for today. Catch you next time.